Hi. This is from Dharma Sound and Know It Better, and answering your questions. Ooh. How can we encourage our child who is stubborn and doesn't believe to practice Dharma, and when obviously no spiritual teacher would even want to accept him? Say when our child, so you're our parents, right? Are you a good parent yourself, practicing Dharma properly? Are you an inspiration? Are you an inspiration? Make sure you're an exemplary followers, that not freaking out your children, and feel so overwhelmed and inspired by our dear daddy or the mummy, the way they treat their parents, friends, and way through proper body, speech, and the mind, right? And then your children is also curious. As a Dharma follower, my father would just do in such way, my mother would behave in such way because of Dharma teachings, and they are inspired, they are touched. So then they just are positive about your belief and your practice. Then only they will consider. These days children are very, very smart. They are very wise. They understand what's going on. So not just by forcing, by imposing, it will be a little difficult. Not only child, even for grown-up adults, doesn't make sense. So be a good practitioner yourself, and explain about the Dharma, and make sure it's not blind faith, and they understand it with understanding. I'm sure they will be able to do it properly, right? So yeah. Is it considered as killing parents if we pluck off life suspension of him, life support, right? Killing off, it depends, so if it's really exhausted, it's nothing much happening, we have no choice but to pull it off, and if your parents is not going to live by any means, knowing that it's not going to make it, putting on life support, maybe we are harming them more. It's just happened to me recently. My father, at 92 years old, we could put him on the life support, but there's no way this man will be normal anytime, no way he will, and then he will be tortured in a hospital. So we decided to bring him home, let him rest, and just put on oxygen and let him live naturally, and this is what we did. So I think if it's young parents and that they have hopes, doctor says, then you should. If it's eventually it's not, it's just your attachment, you are not able to let it go, I don't call it pulling it off, let's call it let them live peacefully, natural way, by bringing them home, letting them rest properly, and look after them according to how they wish to be, instead of torturing them in the hospital bed.